let's talk about what we're doing. I tell you what. Yeah, let's talk about this first, okay? So I mentioned that we want to help you build a long-term sustainable business with multiple streams of income across multiple niches. Now, we've been looking at the Bitcoin niche for quite some time. As a matter of fact, our first foray into the Bitcoin niche was back in 2014, and it's been an amazing ride with that particular offer. Unfortunately, we just didn't get it. We didn't really get how powerful that offer was, 2 years ago. All right, 2.5 years ago when we engaged with that particular offer. Now we see just how big this Bitcoin space happens to be. So our game plan was we were going to launch another portal that was going to work just like CRB, but it was going to center around the Bitcoin niche. And our plan was to call that DigiCoin Lab and to launch that sometime this fall. Inside of DigiCoin Lab, there would be a number of Bitcoin offers that we would test. Now, when we're testing an offer, we know that in Bitcoin is explosive. We know there's a lot of riffraff out there, and sometimes it's hard to determine what's serious and legitimate from some of the riffraff. So sometimes it's hard to determine what gold is versus fool's gold. Okay, and so we were going to use DigiCoin Lab. The reason we call it that is because we were going to be in the lab. We were going to be testing offers to unearth that gem, and hopefully unearth 2 or 3 gems. Well, a few weeks ago, someone who's been a part of our following for years, Uncle Roo, as we affectionately call him, got in touch with me. Uncle Roo has followed us ever since we came online. And he said, look, you and Queen was taking the introductions. You two have to listen to this particular gentleman who also has been following us for years. He is a Bitcoin aficionado. You got to listen to this guy. And, we got a lot going on, okay? We still have a lot to do inside of CRB, a lot still to do. And I was like, okay, Uncle Roo, out of respect, we'll connect. I'm thinking I'm going to give the guy 15 minutes, and then I'm going to say, hey, I got to go. Appreciate it. Send me a link. Tell me what you're talking about, what have you. We got on that call, and I don't know how long it was. Hour and a half, 2 hours later. I don't know exactly what it was. I just know that we were captivated. Queen and I were absolutely captivated. God blew my mind. And he had been trading in the Bitcoin space for about 3 years. Told us his story about how he was promoting a particular offer. He was doing really well with that offer. The offer hit the wall. And it happened when when they were expecting a child. He had to go back to work. So he had done so well with a particular offer that he was able to get off his job. And now he had to go back to work, and things were just really tough. And somehow he stumbled across the Bitcoin niche and trading Bitcoin. And so we had this. I've traded in some form or fashion since 1999. So he immediately had my attention. And so he took me under his wing. And started just teaching me a very simple trading strategy. It's really simple. Now, it's simpler for me because I've traded since 1999 in some form or fashion in the stock market, the Forex market, binary options. Hate binary options, by the way. Stay away from that. Stay away from binary options. That's designed to take your money, okay? But in any event, we've traded in those markets before. So when he shared with us his strategy, we said, oh man, that's pretty simple. And we started having immediate success. Our first week trading our own account, we took 58 trades, very part-time, by the way. And I don't look at charts and all that other stuff, very simple. We had 57 of those that closed out that week, all profitable. and then the 58th one closed out like the next week. I'm now well over 100 plus trades that I've taken. All of them have been profitable. Now, I got a couple of them that we've not closed out yet. You know, it might, let's say you buy a stock in the U.S. stock market for $10, and now that stock is going for $8. All right. But I only have a small portion of my portfolio into any one trade. And if the stock went from 10 down to 8, I might just buy some more at 8. And then it lowers my average cost. And so we've had a few of those there. But overall, our portfolio, in the first 2 weeks, our portfolio was up almost 61%. I saw this gentleman's portfolio. I saw it with my own eyes. He allowed me to look at one of his portfolios. I saw it grow by $150,000 in 1 week. Now, I want to say this again. I saw his portfolio grow. A combination of him trading, combination of just holding on to some of these coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum and what have you. These are some of the coins that are the most traded. And I saw his account grow by over $150,000. Now, we were going to bring him to our audience, and we still are, by the way. But we felt like that not everybody was going to want to learn how to trade. So we're going to bring him to our audience for those that want to learn how to trade. By the way, let me just show you something real quickly. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Give me a moment. Okay, so you can see here, let's pull this up. This is I'm in my son's account. All right, you can see that, let's see here. You won't not understand what all this stuff means here, but you can see buy and sell. So let me find something that, all right, here's a good example. We bought this right here in the Bitcoin market. We bought this here, and you can see when we bought it, 6/1, which was June 1st, 2047, okay? And we were out with our profits at 21.56 an hour later. This particular trade was about a 4% trade, all right? Meaning we made 4%. Now, we don't put our entire portfolio into one trade, obviously, okay? But that was a 4% trade. And basically what we do, think this through. I'm going to give you a stock market analogy. Let's say we buy 100 shares of a stock, and we're looking to take some profits along the way. And so we place an order to sell 50 of the 100 shares. And we sell those 50 shares. And then we place another order to buy. If it dips again, we want to buy on the dip. We want to buy low, sell high. So if it dips again and we're able to buy it again, we'll buy 100 shares again. Then when we sell, we're going to sell 50. Now what's happening is we're starting to build up a stock portfolio. We're doing a little trading, making some money, some short-term profits. At the same time, we're building up a portfolio. So look at this. So we bought and we sold. And then I think, let me see, was that the one? Okay, here it was. You can see that we had sold that same one, made/XMR. We sold that on May the 30th. We had bought it previously. We sold it on May the 30th. Placed an order to buy again. That buy order was filled on June the 1st, placed an order to sell once we knew we owned it, placed an order to sell, and we sold it an hour later, okay? Meanwhile, today, we had this right here that sold today. Now, we had actually held on to this for about 7 days. That's about as long as we've been in a trade. 7 days. It sold today. This one was a little bit higher return than our normal one. This was a 20% return. This was a 20% return, okay? But once we sold it, we said, hey, we want to buy it again. And there we go. We just bought it. All right, since before I got on this webinar. All right, this was not here before. So now I'll go in and I'll place an order to sell this, and it may take a few hours, it may take a few days. Ultimately, if it gets to the price point where we want to sell, we'll be in and out of that. Now, for those of you that want to learn how to trade, we're going to be introducing our trading mentor in the next few weeks. He's been out of the country. He's getting back, I think, today or tomorrow. He and I will discuss. He's got a website and everything. So those of you who want to learn how to trade, we're going to be introducing him, okay? Now, we expect if there were 100 people that only a few would want to learn how to trade. Whether you want to learn how to trade or not, one of the things that we've uncovered over the past few weeks is a trading system that is going to launch. It's going to go into pre-launch somewhere between June 7th and June the 14th. And the thing that captured our fancy was they're going to show real proof of trading. There are a few Bitcoin trading platforms in the marketplace now, but they're not showing real proof of trading. Now, what you're seeing right now on screen is real proof of trading. All right, you can see we bought something, we sold something. All right, we bought something, LTC XMR, we bought on June the 1st at 1710. LTC XMR, we sold on June the 2nd. Okay, real trading. Now notice I'm not showing anything that's overly sensitive. You don't even see my son's name here. You don't see his account number. You don't see his balance. Now I can click a few links and you would see all that stuff, but obviously I'm not going to show that on screen. Okay, so what we wanted was an automated platform where whether you wanted to learn to trade or not, you could use the automated platform manned by real professional traders. So this system, the traders manage over $100 million in their various trading portfolios. They would make the trades, all right, and then you would get earnings. And I don't know just yet. We'll find out when they go into pre-launch. I know that there's some type of splitting of the profits. I don't know exactly how all that works yet. The owner and I have been in a lot of contact on Facebook over the past few days, and he tells me that they're putting the finishing touches on all of that, and soon they'll have the PowerPoint, they'll have the pre-launch video, and things of that nature. Now, I don't know. He sent this to me today. I asked him if I could share it. I haven't gotten an answer back yet. But since he sent it to me, I'm going to ask for forgiveness if I happen to overstep my bounds. I don't think so. Okay, and I don't know if you can see this. Let's see. Let's make this big. So I was asking him because I've got a really big, huge top leader, somebody who I've done business with. He always out-recruits me, and he always builds a bigger team than me. I've been on his team. He's been on my team. But, you know, if we built a certain size team collectively, a nice portion of that was his team. I mean, this guy's just an amazing leader, an amazing team builder. And he wanted to start seeing some of the proof. And so what the owner sent me today was proof of withdrawals from the system. Now, they blanked out some sensitive information. But what he said to me is that in one of their accounts, they are taking out about $25,000 a day in profits. About $25,000 a day in profits. So he sent this to me, blanked out some stuff, and So I know what this particular coin is. This coin right here is called Ethereum Classic. And on June the 1st, give me a moment. Let's see. Bear with me. Okay. On June the 1st, they withdrew 130 coins on Ethereum Classic and also withdrew 1,300 coins. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean in dollar value? All right, so they withdrew 1,430 coins of Ethereum Classic to convert that over to Bitcoin, and then they can convert the Bitcoin into US dollars, okay? Or Euro dollars or what have you. All right, so what does that mean? Let's go and let's take a look at Ethereum Classic and see how much that's going for. So you can see how much they withdrew today. Now, I don't know how large their account is. I would imagine it's fairly significant, maybe even over 7 figures. We've got a plan on the Bitcoin side to get you to Bitcoin, or what we call digi-millionaire status. And I'm going somewhere with this as it relates to CRB. Come on, act right. Okay, so let's see what. All right, so right here is ETC. So ETC is going for $16.05 a coin. All right, if you were in the stock market, that would be $16.05 a share. So let's take the 1,430, multiply it times 1605. This is what he withdrew today, $22,951.50. In other words, if you took Ethereum Classic, ETC, you can convert that into, you can send that to what we refer to as a wallet or a Bitcoin wallet. And then you can do whatever you want to with that. You can convert it over to Bitcoin. Most of us are familiar with Bitcoin. And if you wanted to convert this to cash, US dollars, Euro dollars, Canadian dollars, Australian dollars, you would convert it into Bitcoin first, and then you would convert the Bitcoin into the cash. It's a very simple process once you know how it all works, and you'll learn all that stuff, okay? Now that was today. So the same traders that are trading his account is going to be trading for you and me, okay? And let's go back on the 30th, 2 days ago. All right, so here he withdrew Bitcoin. So let's see how many Bitcoin he withdrew. He took profits from the system, okay? Let's see here. 0.7 plus 10 Bitcoin plus 0.25 plus 7.5. Now let's not do the 7.5 because that was on the 29th. 10.95 Bitcoin. Oh gosh. Right now Bitcoin is going for $2,303 a coin. So he withdrew a couple days ago 25,000 worth of Bitcoin. Now the price might have been different a few days ago. It might have been more or less. But if he just withdrew the Bitcoin and took it out of the trading platform so he could keep it in his Bitcoin wallet and it just let it sit there in Bitcoin, that's what it's worth right now. And so the same trading team that's trading his account, they're going to be able to trade on our behalf. Let me stop for just a moment. How many of you are excited about that? How many of you are excited? If you're excited about that, put an X in your questions box. Okay. All right, so let me tell you what we're working on for you. Instead of launching a new portal right now, I think that's just premature. Let's see, where did I want to go? Okay, so instead of launching a new portal right now, I think that's premature. What we're going to do is we're going to add a new campaign within CRB. So in CRB, you're going to have the capture pages and the autoresponder that corresponds with our promoting of the advertising offer Divi. And then you're going to also have other capture pages that are specific to promoting the automated trading platform. He told me the name, but I can't say what the name is just yet. Okay. And so we'll have lead capture pages specific to that niche. Obviously, the capture pages won't mention the name of that offer. Then we'll have its own 30-day video follow-up series, because obviously the messaging is different. Okay. But it'll be in the vein of what we already have in place. Obviously, the marketing side, that will be different. I'll give you a good example. Okay, I'll give you a good example. I cut 2 of the videos that we're going to use in the follow-up sequence today. And let me tell you what we did. What we did is right here on the Made XMR. By the time I saw that we had bought it, I went over to see what the price was to sell, because I had not already put in a sell order, and I saw that I was above the price at which I would be normally willing to sell. Okay, I would normally be looking for a 4% return, and with that one we were at about a 9% return. And I said, this would be a great video for the video series. And really just to show people how explosive the industry was. So we actually, on screen, placed an order to sell. People would be able to see on screen that we sold. They'd be able to see, what our buy-in price was for that, what our sell price was, what our overall return was. And then we said something to the effect, hey, for those of you that want to learn how to trade, we do have a trading mentor that would teach you this stuff. Now, he's only going to take a limited amount, so by the time you see this, that may or may not be open. But what we really are focused on is our auto trading system, where everything you just saw me do, if you don't want to do that, and you say, man, that's just too much math, I don't want to do that. Well, we've got a team of auto traders that will do that on your behalf. Let me see. Give me a moment. So I did that video, and then we had a little call to action. Give me a moment. All right, so now imagine someone opens up an email, and the email says, watch us as we took a 9% return in less than an hour, or something to that effect. What's that all about? And they see us on screen. I never mentioned my name. They see proof of real trading, and we say, hey, most people are not going to want to learn how to do that. So we've got a team of auto traders. One of our traders took a portfolio of $1 million, and in just a few short months, it was over $2 million. Another one of our traders took a portfolio of 200 Bitcoin, and now it's 600 Bitcoin. What does that mean in dollars and cents? Well, at that time, it was just under $500,000. But by the way, according to Bitcoin price now, and we went to the market, 600 Bitcoin today would be worth like $1.39 million. Now there's a button that's popping up so that you can participate with our auto trade system. It requires as little as $100 in Bitcoin to get started. Do you think if you had an email series like that, you might have some people that would want to get that system from you and it creates some commissions for you? You think? If you think so, put a T in your questions box. Yeah, I think something like that. Well, we can show stuff on screen like that. Okay? All right, so what we're doing is We know that there's still some unfinished business that we have in CRB in terms of some other things that we want to put back there, and banners, and I get that. I know that, okay? But we wanted to position you so that when this system launches, you will already have marketing material from our perspective that really drives home the point, okay? Here's what we've learned. An educated consumer will consume more. And because there is a network tied to that trading platform, the more people feel comfortable investing in that platform, the more money you're going to ultimately make, because as their portfolios grow, your commissions are going to grow. And so we want to make sure that people have a comfort level. You know, some people may still just test it with $100 or $200 or $300, and once they feel more comfortable, all of a sudden they're going to add more and let that continue to grow. So ultimately, what we're going to have, what we're working on, you don't see it right now. All right, what we're working on will be capture pages that will be specific to that niche. Okay, we're still not going to mention the name of the offer on the capture page. A video autoresponder series. It's going to be at least 30 days. Okay, will likely be the same type of format. Couple days of training. Take a day to have a mental vacation break or comedic what have you, so on and so forth. Each one will have a call to action. And so in one portal, you're going to be able to have two niches. And one portal, we're going to have two systems that we believe either one of these systems could become a 6 or 7 figure business for you. Now, let me tell you what I hope happens. I hope that Divvy does exactly what we expect her to do, because we're going to get paid in Divvy in cash. So I want you to be at the point where you're making enough cash from Divvy to take care of your monthly expenses and have a little emergency fund and what have you. Because what I really want us to do with the trading platform, although we're going to be recommending that periodically you take profits, okay, we're not really going to want to convert that even commissions into cash. If we can, early on we might have to, but later on we don't want to convert that into cash. And here's why. We did a webinar, I don't know how long ago it was, 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago. Bitcoin was $1,250 a coin. Last week it got up to $2,750. Now it pulled back sharply a couple days last week down to about the 1800s. I expected that. And now it's back up. What was it? 22, almost 2,300. All right, so it's going to soon try to test that $2,700 mark, and if it may blow through that. And then if it gets through $2,750, it's going to try to get to $3,000. Okay, that's going to be the next big level that traders and investors would be looking at. Okay, all right. So what we want to have is a system that pays us in cash, where we are able to take care of our right now cash flow needs. But this trading system is going to all be Bitcoin based. We put Bitcoin in the system, we'll take Bitcoin out. Okay? We really don't want to have to convert the Bitcoin to cash. Think about it. If we went to coinmarketcap.com, and here are the top 10 coins right now as they stand, okay? Well, if we were to have looked at the top 10 coins this time last year, all right, so I'm going to look at this one right here, this tab here on the left is today's pricing. This tab on the right, I'm going to come down here to where it says Tools and look at Historical Snapshots, coinmarketcap.com, coinmarketcap.com. and we're going to go and look at May of 2016, May 29th of 2016. So just over a year. And you're going to see that Bitcoin this time last year was $522 a coin. And look at it now. And you're going to see that the number 2 coin last year was $12 a coin, Ethereum. And look at it now, $229. If you had taken $1,000 and parked $1,000 into each of the top 10 coins, so $10,000 total, divided amongst 10 coins, 1,000 apiece. This time, if you had done that this time last year, now your $1,000 would be worth roughly $268,000. I'm sorry, your $10,000 would be worth roughly $268,000. So here is part of our Digi Millionaire plan. Okay, we leverage the auto trade platform. Hopefully we don't have to convert much of that to cash. You may have to do that early on to pay bills and maybe do a little advertising. I get that. All right. This is why I really am excited about Divi being the way to generate the cash, so we don't necessarily have to convert our Bitcoin into cash. As we grow our auto trade portfolios, we're not going to leave everything sitting there. We're going to withdraw from our auto trade portfolio, but we want to keep that in Bitcoin. And now we can take that Bitcoin and we can convert some of the Bitcoin into Ethereum or Litecoin or Ripple, so that we also start to build a coin portfolio. So in time, you've got a portfolio of the top 10 or 20 coins, and you're growing that asset base. Now, the explosive growth we've seen over the past year, will we see that this coming year? Maybe not. That's a lot. I mean, that's huge growth. You go and some of these were up 1,500%. Okay, you would have done 15 times your money. I don't expect that necessarily, but we very well could see one of these coins over the next 2-3 years up 500, 1,000, 1,500%, so on and so forth. So I'm hoping that you're now starting to see why under one roof right now we want to have these two systems working side by side. One as a cash flow system. Let's make money from Divi and generate cash and let that be a way that we take care of our cash flow needs. And then our Bitcoin trading, we want to grow that. And ultimately, we want to diversify that Bitcoin into other coins, as well as into other credible Digi opportunities. Okay, so let me finish with this, and then we'll open it up for some Q&A. Okay, so we had shared with our audience, and a good number of you have taken advantage of this, that one of the things that we were going to do, this was before we started to introduce the Digi opportunity, that we needed to have traffic. Okay, now some of you, a good amount of you, purchased a Craigslist traffic course, and some of you have not just allowed that to sit on the shelf. You have taken advantage of it, and you have been getting some really good leads. Okay, and one of the reasons we wanted you to get that course is so that once you understood how to drive traffic with Craigslist, you could use that to drive traffic for any offer. Okay, and your only cost was for the cost of the course itself. Now, with that being said, we also wanted to have more of an automated way that you could drive traffic. And one of the best ways, and some big traffic generation gurus out there would say the best way to drive traffic is through what they refer to as search traffic. And this would be things like Google AdWords and things like Bing. Okay, Yahoo and Bing and what have you. And so you know how it works. You go to Google, you put in a search term, things come up, and you'll see ads. Well, the reason that some traffic generation gurus believe that search traffic is the best traffic is because you're not interrupting someone's experience. If you're doing Facebook ads, which obviously are also can also be very profitable and beneficial if you know what you're doing. You know, people aren't going into Facebook looking to be advertised to. They're going into Facebook because they want to check out their friends, their family, maybe news, things of that nature. And then there's this interruption with an ad in their news feed or an interruption with an ad on the right-hand side. When people go to YouTube, when people go to Google, when people go to Bing, they're typically typing in a search term because it's a search engine. And oftentimes they're looking for an answer to a problem. And so with search traffic, what you do is you have certain keywords that when someone types in something like Bitcoin or auto Bitcoin or how to make money online or something like that, there could be an ad that we have there. We don't pay until someone clicks onto that ad. But normally a person is only clicking on because they see something in the ad that appeals to them. And so that's why some of traffic gurus say that search traffic is the best form of traffic. Now, what we did is we went out and we hired a search traffic agency. Normally, for you to be able to hire such an agency, you're probably going to have have at least a $10,000 a month or more budget just to have them to entertain, you know, doing a traffic campaign with you. So obviously that wouldn't work for most people, at least not right now. Okay, in time you may very well be able to do that. Okay. So what we did is we said, okay, well, let's pool our resources. Let's hire the traffic agency. Let's do a co-op. So the way the co-op works is there's a $100 setup fee, all right, and then a co-op share is $300. But that share gives you 3 months worth of traffic. Okay, so instead of turning the traffic at full scale right away, the design is for you to get steady traffic over a 3-month period. And the reason being is that when you're doing search traffic campaigns, our search traffic co-op folks or the agency, they're always monitoring the campaigns. They're looking to see if they can get a bigger bang for the buck. So they're always making slight adjustments here and there. So the second month of the campaign may actually be better than the first month. The third month of the campaign may actually be better than the first and the second months because they've been doing some little variations and little tweaks here and there. Okay, so those of you that are already part of the co-op, originally we were going to do the co-op and we were going to start the first part of June based on the Divvy offer. But Divvy's not ready yet, and we don't want to burn your co-op advertising dollars. Okay, yeah, we could turn it on, people would go, but what we would be promoting about Divvy in terms of the advertising piece is not really ready yet. So I went to our traffic guy and said, okay, we're going to pause this campaign right now. We're not ready. We need Divvy to have the advertising piece. Meanwhile, the Bitcoin offer was coming to fruition. And some of you were on our webinar. I think it was last Tuesday. We did like a 2-hour webinar to introduce it. I sent him that webinar, and he watched it, and he was all goo goo gaga. And he said, you know what? I think what you should do right now is build out your campaign on the trading system and direct all of the dollars for the trading system once you're ready for that. So that's what I'm going to suggest for those of you that are already part of the co-op. And then we're going to reopen the co-op for those of you that maybe want to participate and you hadn't gotten a chance. Now, what we did is we said, okay, so basically, now you need to be in CRB so that you have the capture pages and the follow-up system, okay? So if you did one co-op share, that's $400, and that's payable in Bitcoin. And then we said if you get 3 shares, and most people that have done this so far has taken advantage of this one. If you get 3 shares, you get 1 free. Which means, what this means when you talk about a share, you would have a link in a rotator. And when someone clicks on the ad, they see John's capture page. They don't know it's John, they don't know it's Mary, but they see John's capture page. Next person clicks on an ad, they see Mary's capture page. Next person clicks on an ad, they see Paul's capture page. Okay? That would be 1 link, 1 share. A good number of you purchase 3 shares and you get 1 free, which means you get 4 links for 4 months as opposed to 3 months. Okay? So this is the game plan now. All right? The trading system is going to go into pre-launch sometime between June the 7th and June the 14th. The owner of the company sent this out via email today, and I had a brief Facebook conversation with him about this as well. Okay? 30 days or so after the pre-launch will be the full launch. And this is when people will be able to set up their trading accounts, and start trading. Okay? So here's the game plan now. The game plan is going to be, we're putting together the campaign in the background. We're going to probably in a couple weeks start some minor testing so he can optimize the campaign. We want to see the system launch, make sure there's no major bugs or what have you, because we don't want to burn advertising dollars if the system's not working correctly. And assuming the system is working correctly, then we'll start the co-op in earnest. Okay? So, we're going to reopen the co-op for those of you that did not take advantage of it and now you want to take advantage of it. Okay? And so what you would need to do, one is you need to have Click, Rank, and Bank, or CRB for short. So get back to the person who referred you to our webinars. Ask them for their CRB link. Go on and take our CRB test drive. It's $1 for 7 days. All right, so $1 for 7 days. Thereafter, it's $30 a month. That's for CRB, okay? Then once you come inside of CRB, there is, and I'm about to round third here. Queen, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to have long for Q&A. I've got a headache and it's bothering me. So as soon as I finish, I'm going to go and get some rest. I'm in pain right now, so. And it is not comfortable at all. That's what you haven't heard me with my golden silky vocals or anything like that, because I'm in pain. All right. If you want to participate in the co-op, come back here. Send a support ticket. And say, yes, I want to be in the co-op. Tell us how many shares you want. And then we'll give you the instructions on how you can take care of the co-op. We will be mindful that the advertising won't start until we know that the trading system has launched, and we don't have any major snafus or what have you. Okay, but I don't know how many shares we still have left because we had a good number of them taken when we first opened it up. It is going to be first come, first served. We have a limit to the number of shares that we're going to allow for this first run. So even though the advertising won't start right away, you want to go on and lock that in. Again, I don't remember exactly how many shares we have. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm in pain right now. And we normally do a Q&A. I'm going to ask you to forgive me. We're not going to do a Q&A. All right. I love each and every one of you. I'm sorry?
I said you're forgiven.
Thanks, Queen. All right. Love each and every one of you, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know, Queen, you hadn't heard me on the rafters tonight or singing or what have you. That's because I'm in pain. So I'm going to go and see if and I'm a wuss when it comes to pain. So I'm going to probably take something to get me out of some pain. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I just don't like pain, and I'm a wuss.
I know. Go lay down.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Love each and every one of you. Let's change the world together, starting with yours. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.